Hey everybody, Tom here for Tom's Road Trip, and I'm in Homosassa, Florida. I'm visiting Homosassa Springs State Park. This is a wildlife park with hopefully manatee viewing. They have a nice trail with different animals from the state of Florida. I'm excited to be here. This is my first time here. So it is a nice, cool day. Very, very nice. No overcast whatsoever. So hopefully it's going to be a fantastic day to see some animals and enjoy a Florida original park. Let's get started. I do like this mural that's painted on the wall here with all the different manatees and some nice fish. Admission prices. It's a reproduction of their original boat that they used to have through here. Alright, they also have a restaurant here, the Grill at Pepper Creek. Alright, so we're taking the boat to the other end. This is one of the two boats that they got that take you over. Alright, so I got this paper map. See where I'm at right now is the visitor center. So we take the boat along Pepper Creek over to the west entrance. And that's actually where the main park is. You see along the pathways, there's different animals that they've got. It's also Manatee Care Center. It's got hippopotamus, manatees, and some gardens. So it should be a fun day. Looking on the wall here, looks sort of like windows, but it shows you some of the Florida wildlife. There's all sorts of different critters. A whole bunch of different birds. And the squirrel. You guys know my channel, you know I like squirrels. Hi squirrel! Don't want to scare the squirrel. Wow, they got this other fantastic mural painted on the wall. Now if you don't want to take the boat ride, that costs, I think it was $8. You can take the tram, which is free, takes you to the same place. That's where the eatery is upstairs.
Well, once again, folks, welcome to the park, and if you haven't been here before, folks, this body of water we're on this morning is called Pepper Creek. Pepper Creek is spring-fed, so the water here is fresh water, has an average temperature of 72 degrees all year, which is common for springs in our area. However, the main spring, the one you should make a point of visiting, is the one that's in the park. It's called the Fishbowl. The reason it's important is that it's a magnitude spring. It puts out 6 million gallons of water per hour. It forms the headwaters of the Homosassa River that flows out to the Gulf. It's also one of the few places in the world where fresh and saltwater fish can cohabitate in the same pool. And it's where we have our underwater observatory. Probably with the weather getting cooled down like it has overnight, you might find that there are quite a few manatees in the lagoon by the fishbowl. And I'm sure there's some really good sized saltwater fish right there in the pool. So it's a good place to spend a few moments, especially with the young people. Now as we turn here to the left, you'll see a tree all by itself on that right hand bank. It's called a sable palm, and the sable palm was declared the state tree of Florida. It's also known as a cabbage palm because the inside of the tree is edible. It's called the hearts of palm. Hearts of palm can be purchased at the grocery store. However, it's most unlikely that it would be coming from Florida. Now, the facility we're headed for this morning has been a tourist attraction since the early 1900s. Back then, there was a train that came down from up north, basically the Ocala area, and it came down on a daily basis. It was called the mullet train because it came down to pick up fresh fish, cedar, and occasionally some spring water. And along with the normal cars, it had several passenger cars. And the folks from the Ocala area, on occasion would ride the train down so they could spend the day at the spring. So when that train got within proximity of the spring, it would stop and let the people off, and they would have to walk in those early days. And then once the people were off the train progressed further south to Homosassa, where it actually picked up its cargo. The people spent the day at the pool, fishing and swimming, picnicking, hiking around, and that was even said that at some point there was a concession where someone wanted to go for a swim and forgot to bring a bathing suit, they could actually rent one. At the end of the day, when that train was loaded, it would start its journey north and stop and pick up the people who dropped off in the morning to take them on home. From those early days until 1963, the property exchanged hands multiple times for various reasons. And also during that same period of time, the property became known as a zoo for exotic animals. And a little later on, it also became the winter headquarters for many of the animals that were in the entertainment industry, whether they were in a motion picture or they were performed live at various venues around close by. At any rate, in the latter part of 1963, though, the property was purchased by a developer from Chicago. His name was Bruce Norris. However, Mr. Norris had no sooner purchased the property that they officially opened up Highway 19, and it wasn't long thereafter that he started to realize he was losing visitors, because now what became known as Fishbowl Drive and was the primary road is now a secondary road. And so Mr. Norris, though, in the early part of 1964, happened to have visited the New York World's Fair. While he was there, he saw they were using pontoon boats to move people across the lagoon at Flushing Meadows. Since he now owned all the property surrounding Pepper Creek, he decided something like that could work here. And so he had Pepper Creek widened and dredged to its current depth. He built the visitor center we just left, along with the adjacent motel, and he had to build a dock at the west end of Pepper Creek, and eventually he wound up building a new building as entrance to the park. He operated the facility successfully for 20 years. But then in 1984, for some unknown reason, he decided to sell the property. The county of Citrus, which is where we are, in order to prevent development back here, purchased the property from Mr. Norris with the understanding that the state of Florida, when they acquired the necessary funds, would reimburse them and take possession of the park. The county operated the facility successfully as it existed then for 4 years. And then in January of 1989, the Florida Park Service reimbursed the county and they took possession of the park. Once they did, though, they realized that exotic animals was not what they had in mind. They were more interested in animals that are natural to the state. And so they had to go about finding homes for all those exotic animals. And they did that primarily by advertising with zoos around the country. They were quite successful. They found homes for all of them. But there was one animal here that the county school children wanted to keep here, and that's Lou. Lou's our 6,000-pound hippopotamus. And so the kids wrote letters to the governor, and their parents had petitions signed along with other county residents. And eventually the governor, who at that time was Lorton Childs, decided to handle the problem by making Lou an honorary citizen of the state, allowing him to stay here for the rest of his natural life. Now, Lou was born in California in 1960, and then he was brought here to Florida in 1964 to be in several movies, and he has never left. In about 3 weeks, Lou will turn 63 years old. He's the oldest known hippopotamus in North and South America, and we think maybe in the world. So he's probably going to be the first animal you see today. Take a few moments and visit with him. He is one of our most pampered animals. Now straight ahead and soon to our left is that box sitting on a pole with the inverted cones. That is a nesting box for the wood ducks. We have 14 of those along the creek. The way it works is that the female, who's slight in stature, has to fly directly into the box as there is no perch. Once she's in the box, she goes to the bottom, and there she will lay her eggs, sit on them for about 30 days, and once they hatch, she'll keep the little ducklings in there until she's sure that they can feed themselves and are able to follow her around the creek. Once she's done that, she will jump in the water directly below the box and call her young. Believe it or not, the little ducklings will follow her one by one like little fuzzy ping pong balls. Now, this island you see here that we're going around was put here by Mr. Norris for the purpose of boats passing. In the early days, when he first started running these pontoon boats, he decided to call them jungle cruises. And to accommodate that, he called this Monkey Island, and he put monkeys on here that he believed, I can't think of the species right now, but they weren't supposed to be able to swim. But he neglected to think that monkeys can swing from branch to branch. And so what would happen is people started coming by, feeding the monkeys. And then it wasn't long before that the monkeys started anticipating. And when they saw a boat, they were ready to jump on board. However, once they got on the boat, they thought, gee, look, there's stuff here more interesting than food. People were leaving sunglasses and cameras and other things on the boat, on their seats, on the deck. And of course, the little guys would pick them up and head back to the island with them. Well, it doesn't take much of an imagination to realize who had to go fetch that stuff. So it wasn't long before they became such a menace, they had to be removed. The ancestors of those monkeys, though, currently exist on another monkey island that's down on the Homosassa River by the city dock and the boat ramps. So if you're down that way, you might be able to visit them. They were called spider monkeys, by the way, now that I remember. Anyway, straight ahead you see some trees hanging over the water. Some of those are what remains of the cedar that was really heavily forested here in the county. Mostly because cedar was considered a good wood to make furniture out of. But more importantly, universally, people believe cedar has the ability to ward off insects. And so many of the logs were cut into boards to line closets, build cedar trunks and cedar chests, which were popular in the day before everybody had air conditioning. People would store their winter clothing and linens in these cedar facilities during those hot summer months to keep bugs from destroying you. So, and I'm sure some of your great-grandparents or great-grandparents had a cedar chest at the foot of their bed. I'm almost sure of it. Anyway, coming up now on the right in a moment, you're going to see a concrete block at the shoreline. It was one of four. The other three were buried when they widened the creek. They were going to be the footings for a water tower that was going to support a development back here. And it's kind of hard to believe that it was going to happen. But anyway, this was happening in 1929, 1930 period, just before the great financial crash. And the story is that the builder neglected to arrange for funds. And so when he was ready to build, the banks didn't have the money to finance him. And of course, the project never got off the ground. Straight ahead, there are two wood ducks. I can't tell, but my guess is one's a male and one's a female. If they'll stay put long enough for you to see them, the one with all the colors is the male, the one that's brown with white around her eyes is the female. And as you can see, they're not very large birds. Maybe we can sneak by and they won't panic. Oh, they're not even going to get the heck out of my way. Come on, boys. Come on, girls. Yeah, it's a pair.
Oh, yeah, I like wood ducks.
There should be some more along the way. They're starting to gather now. Anyway, as we go through this section, I always tell people, use a little bit of a little imagination, and think back before this area was populated by people building and whatever. In fact, a little further back, when this was just a narrow stream, and this was actually the hunting grounds for the Native Americans up north, basically the Creek Nation and some of the Seminoles. And on both banks there was these bushes that had berries on them, and the Native Americans chose to call them peppers. and they would harvest these peppers for medicinal purposes as well as dyes and other purposes. But anyway, over time, that's how Pepper Creek got its name. But if you were to loosely interpret the language of the Creek nation, Homosassa means the place where many pepper plants are. And so if you would overhear several warriors discussing their winter plans, they would probably say they're going to Homosassa to hunt, where the pepper plants grow. Now, coming up, there's an island there. It's an actual island of sorts. It's called Osprey. And the reason it's called Osprey Island is because for 25 years there was an osprey nest on this island. It was active almost up until this last January, but a storm had completely wiped it out. The birds that occupied that nest used it for about 20 years. So my guess is that the male, as he grew older, he just neglected to keep the nest up. And right now, if you look straight up, you'll see a pine tree, and just below the canopy, you'll see the fork where the nest was. So, and then we had a pretty severe storm here back in February or March, and it completely wiped it completely out. So we just don't know if the birds are coming back or not. But anyway, that's how the island got its name. And I don't see any turtles out here though. Normally, I guess it's too cold for them still. The biggest turtles though, just below the surface of the water, so if you're looking over the side, you might see some. They're snappers and what I call alligator nose soft shell, which are really the big guys. I thought we'd see some more ducks too, but usually right here under this bush, on this log, they like to hang out.
There's two over there.
Yeah. Are they there? Yeah, there's the male on there anyway. I'm sure the female's somewhere close by. There she is.
Quack-quacks.
There she is.
Do you like some quack-quacks?
Actually, it looks like two females sitting there. So two pairs, male and the female, and the male.
Hi, duckies.
For some reason, they like that log. There's another pair under there. I guess we're not far from nesting time. Keep hoping for warmer weather and bring the birds around.
Sunday.
Anyway, folks, we're not far from the dock, and I have required to go over a couple things with you. And the first one is when you get off the boat, at the street, at the curb on the right, there's a post with a blue box that controls the traffic light. If you watch straight ahead, you're going to see the tram. I'm going to bring it up in a minute. So when you cross, make sure you use the light. Once you go in the building, unless you have to use the restroom, there's the tram. So I'm going to bring that up. Goes through the second set of doors, and as you do so, hold your wrist up so they can see that you paid at the visitor center. Follow the path, and you'll come to a fork with a manatee water fountain. Go up to the right, and it'll take you to the animals. Blue will be the first one on the left, followed by the alligators. Follow the boardwalk all around. You'll come back to where you started, and you will have seen just about everything there. So now, the boats depart up here every half hour until 3:30, and surely you will be out by then. However, we have the tram that you just saw that runs continuously. So when you come out, if for some reason you need to get back to the parking lot quicker than taking the boat, take the tram. It's about an 8-minute ride once you depart from the tram. It's a great morning, so you should have a pretty good time. The animals will be out. They like this cooler weather, so they've just been fed. So enjoy your visit. Give you an idea what Pepper Creek looked like when I was telling you about Native Americans inhabiting the area. If you look straight ahead, you'll see the little dam we have there, and just beyond the remainder of Pepper Creek that flows out to the river. And you can see there isn't much, in fact you can hardly tell where the trees separate to let Pepper Creek flow through there. So it wasn't a big body of water back then. Actually, that tram road was created after the park system took it over. This was Mr. Norris's idea of moving people from Highway 19 over to here.
Alright, coming in for a landing.
Today, maintain all those animals.
Look at that. Looking forward to seeing this. Information here, first Army settlers Homosassa, 1782 to 1863. And information about the Seminole Indian Wars. Alright, it's just the west entrance. Used to be the main entrance back in the 80s. There's a small snack bar right here. So I'll be able to have lunch here a little bit later. This is Ellie Schiller. And this is who the park is actually named after now. You do have restroom locations inside. You do have stroller rentals and wheelchair rentals. Oh, this is really nice. Hopefully we get to see some manatees, real ones. There's some signs here. Arrows pointing to different areas. Since I know some of you like to read information, this is one of the signs that I saw. See how clear this water is, you can see the bottom. Alright, so we're going to follow the pathway to the animals. Now I mentioned I came here back in the 80s with my family. This is a real Florida attraction. This isn't a big Hollywood attraction like you will see in Orlando, Florida. So this is real Florida. So if you are from the state, hopefully you've been here to this place or something similar. So if you are from out of state, I do highly recommend you come to places like this. There's Silver Springs, there's Weeki Wachee Springs. Places like this are real Florida. You'll learn actual real Florida history. Very, very cool, interesting information. You will learn about the history of the state more so than the big parks. The big parks are actually a part of the state. Brings in all the tourists. Very, very important for the economy. But if you want to see actual real old school Florida attractions, places like this are where you're going to find it. Alright, here we go. Lou the hippopotamus. He's a Nile hippopotamus. He's the oldest living hippopotamus in the United States, or the Americas, North and South America, and possibly the world. So the lifespan of hippos is 40 to 50 years in the wild. Captive hippos can live to the age of 6 years or more. Well, Lou, it fits that category of more. This is Lou's habitat. And there he is in the water. Here we go. Here's old Lou the hippopotamus. He's back anyway. I don't know if we'll get a chance to see him poke his head up. There we go. Again, you see how clear this water is. Oh yeah, look at that.
I don't know if we've seen the alligators, so it's a little cold.
There we go. Alright, next up we got American alligator. So if you come to the state of Florida, pretty much any fresh body of water is going to contain alligators. Even if you don't see an alligator, just heard Lou kind of sound like he was laughing. This is the alligator habitat. Don't see him yet, but probably on the other side. Alright, wildlife walk. Alright, I see this big metal box. But what is it? This right here explains what the metal box is for. Alright, we got red wolf.
There was 2 of them in there. Oh, here.
And there's the wolfies. Oh wow. Yeah, right underneath the little tunnel. Hi Wolfie, how you doing, sweetheart? Oh God, I love wolfies. Hi Wolfie. There's 2 of them in here. The other one is behind all this stuff. Hi Wolf, how you doing? Yeah, literally as soon as I put the camera down, the wolf came out and started walking around. The animals always do this to me. Now all the animals here at Homosassa Springs are from the state of Florida, except for the hippopotamus. If you're listening to the boat captain on the ride here.
Good keeps him exercised. See, oh, he's right there.
It's a wolfy wolf.
Right in front of the rock.
All right, this habitat has a squirrel. Hi, Squirrely. Hi, squirrel. Hi. I also have a couple turtles in here. Or tortoises. Hi, squirrel. All right, we got gray and red fox. Got Glory and Swiper, which is cute. It's like from Dora the Explorer. I currently do not see the foxies out. Wait, I take that back. I take that back. I do see a foxy right here. I do see the fox right here. Yeah, there we go. There we go, there's a foxy right here, yeah. Hi, puppy. The fox isn't a puppy, but you know, they're cute. Now, honestly, I don't know if this is the red fox or the gray fox because it has gray fur and red fur. So it might just be the red fox. Also not sure if the foxes are out here one at a time or if they can share the habitat together. Hi, fox. So cute. I got great horned owls. There it is. Oh my gosh. What a beautiful bird. Hi. I like this bird's habitat. Alright, so the next habitat has these three eagles. However, there are no signs that state what type of birds these are. So if you know what type of birds these are, leave some comments down below. Please use the timestamp from right here so I'll know exactly which animal you are speaking of. But these are beautiful little eagles. They're cute little squeaks. Ah, gorgeous birds. Alright, we got barn owl. Oh, barn owls are just such pretty birds. So nice looking. Whew. Just jumped over the other one. Huh. Or from the one branch to the other. Yeah, so all the animals that are here are injured in some capacity that makes them unable to live in the wild. It's like that one barn owl there on the left is missing its right wing. So they're here as ambassadors of their species, so people like myself can come and show you so you can learn about them. Alright, up next we got barred owls. So we got 3 of them in here. Yes. Very cool looking birds. We got large wading birds. A great blue and great white heron. Got sandhill cranes. See these birds. And one of my all-time favorites, flamingos. And wood storks. See these birds frequently also. Alright. Do you like these guys with the big thing in the top of their beak? There's a wood stork right there. A couple pelicans. Of course, I'm very partial to these flamingos. My second favorite type of bird, right behind the laughing kookaburra. See some white ibis. White ibis are all over the state of Florida. See the flamingos in the back. I mean, not the flamingos, the pelicans, I'm sorry. Pelicans in the back. These are the brown pelican. These are the pelican you are going to most likely see in the state of Florida. However, you will occasionally see the white pelican. Also, they are not as prevalent as these birds here because they're not native to the state. If you're in a fishing pier, anywhere that has a large congregation of people fishing, you're going to find these type of birds trying to catch a fish, usually snagging it from a unsuspecting fisher person, you know, someone fishing. Next to this ibis, you got this other bird. Don't know if this is ibis also. It's a white heron. Like its habitat also. Oh yeah, gorgeous bird. Hi. I always try to be polite to animals. Alright, next habitat. There we got whooping cranes. Always enjoyed the whooping cranes. It's like having some breakfast or lunch. Another white ibis in there. Opportunistic. There we go. These cool looking birds also. Another wood stark over there. Pretend to be a flamingo on one leg.
They're happy you're here.
See, that's why they're called whooping cranes. Because they make the noises.
Yeah, they had some food over on their house, didn't they? And now they're in the water.
Very cool.
The cranes usually buying first.
Got brown and white pelicans. So if you are fishing, these birds can actually become kind of aggressive, especially if people are feeding them. So they're going to associate humans with food. That's why it's always recommended not to feed the wild animals. If you ever gone to the beach and you're there eating something, some of the other birds, especially seagulls, have been known to just swoop in and grab whatever you're eating right out of your hands. Yeah, there's another blue heron right here. Oh yeah, really cool. All right, we got bald eagles. Oh yeah, gorgeous bird. And you can see the bird is missing its wing feathers on its left. So usually anytime you see a bald eagle in a zoo, they're there because they are not able to live on their own in the wild. Such beautiful animals though. Fantastic. Here we got crested caracara. Oh! Here's one of them. Wow, such a cool looking bird. We got a red-tailed hawk. Oh yeah. Another gorgeous type of bird. A little better view of the crested caracara. These two birds are in the same habitat. Hi. So yeah, these two birds share the same habitat space. Got lots of room. There we go. We got a nice white heron right here. Alright, Florida black bear.
Mom, there's a bear over here. There's a bear.
Just kind of walking back and forth by this tree. I'm trying to get you a good view. Definitely not making it easy. See some other scavenger birds in there with the bear.
There he is, Sam. Oh, he's turning around. Oh, there's two? No, just one I see.
So there's another restroom location right by the Florida black bear. Got the shorebirds. It's a roseate spoonbill. Those are so cool. Got survival stories of the shorebird aviary. Got double-crested cormorant and little blue heron. And vultures, the guardians of the ecosystem. Yep, so they are carrion eaters. They eat the carcasses of dead animals. I do love these birds. There's a little blackbird here, is a double-breasted cormorant. Usually you'll see these type of birds with their wings spread open. That's because they need to dry their feathers. Kind of like this bird spreading its wings. Because they'll dive into the water all the way down to catch fish. And when they come out, they have to dry their feathers before they can fly. Really good view of a wood stork. I've seen many of these types of birds in the wild. Pretty much most of the birds you'll see here today I have seen in the wild. Alright, we got Florida panther. There she is, or he is. Not sure what it's looking at. Interested in something in the back. This kitty cat's got a very nice size habitat. This really nice wood sculpture. So I'm hoping it turns its head. Like I said, it's checking out something in the back. Very pretty cat though. There we go, there we go, there we go. Yeah, pretty kitty cat. So all the pathways here, the animal counters on these elevated boardwalks, so you get a little better vantage point of the animals, hopefully. Goes all the way around. That's the other side view of this habitat that has all the flamingos and pelicans, the egrets, and the herons. All right, next up we got bobcat. See, bobcat habitat. And there's Bob right on the side. Yeah, Bob's right on the side. I like bobcats. They got the cute little tail. It's not very long. It's a little bit bigger than a house cat.
Wild.
Another blue heron. Ooh, I found the alligator. Around the back portion of the habitat. Luckily the boardwalks provide different viewing angles. So as I mentioned, any fresh body of water in the state of Florida most likely is going to have one of these guys in them. So don't go just jumping in the water without knowing your surroundings. And definitely don't let your dog chase sticks or balls or go swimming in the water, because one of these guys will possibly get your dog. They won't usually go after humans unless you harass the animal. But dogs, small furry critters, are a definite food source for these, predators. All right, we got river otter. So river otter's got all this water here to play in. All the water. And lots of dry land too. Here he comes. Here they come again.
Oh, there he is.
Got two of them. Got two of them swimming around. Kind of swimming in the leaves. Water here is kind of murky because of the fountain there, so it churns up all the stuff on the bottom. Normally this water would be nice and clear.
Hey, Dave. Is that a cutout over there, or is that
Well, yeah, you got a better view of the otter outside of the water. There's two of them in there.
She said the other one's not yet. Yeah, he came out and then
Now we got keystone species. Got gopher tortoise and burrowing owls. There's a gopher tortoise. And burrowing owl.
It can move that whole way. I guess it's just teetering.
So that's the gopher tortoise and burrowing owl habitat. Of course, they are both kind of hidden, because the burrowing owl is very, very small. So I will check back here.
I found one.
We got a reptiles exhibit. Big old alligator on the top. Alright, right outside you see this gorgeous snake. Oh wow, I love the coloration on this snake.
Bobcat.
Yeah, look at that, nice snake. Yeah, it's a nice snaky snake. There's a Florida pine snake. Yeah, Florida pine snake. Love that snake's habitat also.
You'll see crab.
Gulf hammock rat snake. It's another one of the snakes you will get a better view outside. Very nice looking. I completely missed the other Florida pine snake down below. And there's the other one that was going all around. Good information here. What should I do if I see a snake? Whoops. Got a Florida king snake. It's nice habitat. Another cool looking snake. We got a dusky pygmy rattlesnake. Alright, while this little snake is small, they do have a bad bite, and they are venomous. The hognose versus the dusky pygmy. Got a timber rattlesnake.
Would he bite me? I don't think so.
Oh yeah. That's another cool looking snake. All about rattles. Got eastern diamondback. Nice habitat here. Here we go, inside the log. Now the eastern diamondback rattlesnake is the most venomous snake in the United States. It is much larger usually than the western diamondback rattlesnake. Got a Florida cottonmouth. Size snake here. It's also known as the water moccasin. More information, Florida water snakes versus cottonmouth. So I see these type of snakes in lakes typically, because this is the signage that I showed you, they have their heads above water. So if it's not alligators, it's these critters right here you gotta look out for. Here we've got eastern musk turtle and Florida mud turtle. Alright, so I'm looking and I actually don't see either one. Not really sure where they would be. They're just hiding really good. Alright, someone else pointed out here is the Florida mud turtle. See, now I see it moving around. I stood there for 5 minutes looking all around and totally missed them. All it takes is a second set of eyes. Eastern musk turtle, right there. Again, someone else pointed them out for me. A little more information about these turtles. Hot and cold. It's another Florida king snake. Same snake, different colors. So yeah, same snake as the other one that we saw. It's just the coloration is totally different. Got a gray rat snake. This is the rat snake habitat. I actually had a rat snake in my house. If you guys look back, you'll see it on my community tab. It's inside my house at my back door. Just going in the backyard to feed my tortoise Sheldon, and this guy was there to greet me. Well, not this one, but you know what I mean. Although I think the one that was in my house was a red rat snake.
Let's look in here. Look.
Very nice looking snakes. non-venomous,
What is he doing?
very docile type snakes.
Come on.
Here we got a Caligaster king snake.
I can see it.
Just looking around for him, and he's right underneath all the fern plant here. Don't see much of him though.
It's in the wall.
But there he is. That is a snake. Got copperhead versus red rat snake. This is another Florida king snake.
I can see it. You see it? Oh yeah.
He's a very nice looking snake. So this information about the red rat snake that I was telling you about. It's got two different habitats that are being redone. You see the new wood around it. So these snakes are not available for viewing. There's also the southern hognose and the scarlet king snake. There's venomous versus non-venomous. See, eastern coral snake mimics the coloration of the scarlet king snake. I came back outside, and there is the burrowing owl. They're very, very small owls. Really cute looking too. Alright, so the gopher tortoise is in this hole here. When I tried to zoom in, it was just too dark to get a good vantage point. Here we got a deer walk. Alright, we got white-tailed deer. Alright, well I do see a deer all the way in the back now. There we go. There's a deer. There we go.
Yeah, Florida key deer, that's what you see.
There we go, there's a white-tailed deer coming closer. Don't talk too loud. Oh yeah. Such pretty animals. Yeah, white-tailed deer. Yeah, this is the white-tailed deer.
Never feed or walk a deer.
People don't bother him.
This deer came right up close. Basically, this tells me that people have been feeding them, even though they're not supposed to. Yeah, do not feed wild animals because they become dependent on humans for food. Hi, sweetheart. Up, and there's the second one. How you doing, sweetheart? There's a cute little white fluffy tail. I like your little white tail. That's a nice little white tail. And Florida key deer.
Surprised how much the reptiles.
Yes, I don't see either species of deer.
Oh yeah, that reptile house had meat.
Alright, now I just got to try and see the Florida key deer.
There he is, there he is.
Now, Florida key deer get the name because they are only in the Florida Keys area. And I actually got to see one when I was there early last year. Oh, I see a second alligator. They said they got great different views. And there's the other alligator. Shall not hanging out on a log. Alright, Alright, after going through the animal trail circle, come back and Lou is up out of the water. Looks pretty good for a 60-plus-year-old hippopotamus. It looks a lot bigger than he was when he was in the water.
Hi, Lou.
Alright, we're next to Lou's habitat. You got gator bites, ice cream, drinks, and snacks. This is their menu board.
No, not right now.
Yes, sir.
Look at his face. Hello.
Hi, Louie.
Iced teas and Coca-Colas.
So as we learned from the boat tour here, or the boat ride, that Lou is the only non-Florida animal here. The Manatee Care Center
A lot of big snook from that
for
tank.
injured manatees. There's actually a small manatee right in here, or there's two of them. Yeah, two manatees right here. Or nope, three. Yeah, there's three of them in here. You're in here for rehabilitation. Alright, you can see all the fish in the water. Like I said, this is how clear the water is. Too bad the water wasn't nice and clear like this over with the river otters. Would have been nice to see them swimming around. But again, because of the water spraying out of the water, it was bringing up all the sediment. Alright, so I'm showing you my paper map again just so you know right where I'm at. So started here, took the boat along Pepper Creek, coming through the west entrance, did all this, followed the loop around, just past the Manatee Care Center. So now I'm working my way over here to underwater observatory, and then I will end up down here before working my way back around. This whole area is also boardwalks, so you're not walking in all of this type of stuff. So you get a good view of the water as we work our way through. Got this nice bear sculpture right here. Alright, here we go. Garden of the Springs Discovery Center. I'm gonna go inside this building right now. Lots of information up on the walls. We do have restroom locations inside. Native Americans. Not sure just to see from a real canoe or if it was a reproduction. Springs inhabitants. Got the mullet train. First, the attraction days. Now at Florida State Park with a new mission. But luckily they kept some of the Florida plant life flowers that they got. There you see several water activities going on. A lot of people rent kayaks to come out and see the manatees. This boat right here has people that can swim with the manatees. Alright, so from the Garden of the Springs Discovery Center, we're going to head down this paved path for the underwater observatory. This is nice too. Dr. Jessie Ray White, DVM. That's who was in the photograph. Or the carving of a photograph, rather. Without warm water, manatees cannot survive. Alright, underwater observatory. Alright, so this is above water view. And go down below for the underwater viewing. Different fish.
No, it wasn't.
Fishy, fishy, fishies. There we go. Working on replacing the windows.
But it hit him in the heart.
You see all the fish?
It went staring right into his heart. That's why.
Oh, it did?
So they're working on replacing the windows. So that's why it looks so murky.
Not a skate.
Yeah, look at these fish.
My bed.
See, the funny thing is, if you think about it, while we are watching them, they're watching us. So to them, we're the zoo.
Do we have everybody?
Because you see something new each time. We come and inshore fishes of the Florida West Coast. All the different ones.
This is for Caleb.
It is low.
So again, you see how clear the water is. Although some of it is kind of murky. So I'm curious if they're going to have to raise this thing up to replace all the windows, or how exactly they go about doing that. So currently it doesn't appear there are any manatees by here. But we did see some of the manatees that were in the rehabilitation tank. I have seen real wild manatees before when I was younger, when I was scuba diving. Not too far from here in Crystal River. We got the West Indian manatee. The habitat. The size. Lifespan.
Do anything. But the manatee decides he's about
and the diet.
Like a lifetime.
The Homosassa Springs shed.
Something like that never happened again. But he said we would have been here yesterday to tell you about it. No. Except we decided that we would also take your advice and we would go to say that website. We were able to adopt the manatee. Any number of other instances.
That's where I just was. It's the underwater viewing.
They need our protection.
You see all the fish.
Why? Simply because they are the landscape engineers of the wild. Manatees currently exist in numbers around 6,000.
Oh, so they do have a gift shop. All different shirts. Lots of plush. shirts for the little ones. I do have some hats. But mostly they look like they're kid sizes and they're $30, so I'm gonna skip the hat. I know that's unheard of for my videos. We got bags, other sort of things. Big giant snakes. Lots of various drinkware. We got magnets and stickers. Alright, so I decided to pick up a magnet for $6.95. Alright, since I took the boat here, I'm going to take the tram back. Alright, so taking the tram back to the entry area. Yeah, we saw some of these alligators. It's the way the natural river goes through. Main parking area. An entry building where I came in. When my adventure today started. Alright. And we are back. Well, you guys, other murals. Didn't see these earlier. Another thing I didn't even realize this morning when I showed you this is these are all carved out of wood. All carved. So that's even more cool, you know, than it was than I even realized. Right inside the Welcome Center, they have this display here that shows you all of the debris that was collected during the restoration. So lots of sunglasses, bags, a whole radio boombox, tapes. It's like a tennis racket, tire, a pogo stick, some old cellular phones. It's like tape measure, plastic hosing, dive mask, gloves, frisbee, flip-flops, lots of plastic bottles, beer cans, diving mask. See how old these beer cans are because it was the old pull tab style. These haven't been used since the 80s. So that shows you just how long some of the stuff has been there in the waters. Also shows you how long it takes for stuff to disappear, basically, be absorbed. Disposable diapers, 550 years. Plastic bags, 10 to 20 years. Aluminum cans, 80 to 200 years. Paper, about 2 to 6 weeks. Cigarette butt, 10 plus years. Food waste, weeks to months. Glass never breaks down. Rubber sole of a shoe, 50 to 80 years. Hard plastics like Lego bricks, 1,000 plus years. Plastic bottles, 450 years. And the dreaded styrofoam never breaks down. And it's really, really disturbing that styrofoam is still used in so many different places. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for my visit to Homosassa Springs Animal State Park. Fantastic. It was so nice to be back here. I don't remember exactly how old I was the first time I came here. It wasn't a state park then, but it is really nice that they kept the animals. Like I said, all the animals here except for the hippopotamus are native to the state of Florida. They are here for various reasons because you cannot live out in the wild. So they didn't just go and snatch several different animals and stick them in pens for people's amusement. They're here for a reason. Manatees are rehabilitated and released. I didn't actually get to see any wild manatees. A couple other people that were on the tram stated that they did. Unfortunately, I missed it. It could have been just like with the turtles at the reptile building, where I just wasn't at the right place at the right time. Didn't notice. Usually a second set of eyes helps if you miss something. I've had people point out stuff to me at various different attractions I've gone to over the years. So leave some comments down below what your favorite part of today's activity was. I go to places like this, zoos, aquariums, theme parks, roadside attractions all over the country. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Hit the bell notification so that you know every time I upload a new video, which is every Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you to everybody that has supported my channel over the years. And for everybody that is new, welcome. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.